So I was just saying we'd begin standing this morning to get warmed up. Oh, we'll still be oh, we'll still be using um, blanket and blocks, maybe a strap. Whew. Welcome to Gentle Yoga with the Rain of Blessings. And it's snowing in Blacksburg, so I'm feeling chilly, and we're going to start with some vinyasas, uh, and maybe take somewhat of an Ashtanga practice today, just because it's so cold and um, I want to get warmed up. So we'll begin standing. um, let's start at the front of the mat with your feet hip distance apart, and just roll your shoulders up, back, and down a couple times, maybe just bending the knees a little bit too, just to warm up. And then we'll take the arms up overhead and bring the hands to heart center and just close the eyes, and we'll start with one Om, which is it just means one, everything, the entire universe. So inhale deeply. And bring the arms out and overhead, bending the knees, arms up and overhead, and we'll swan dive forward with the knees bent. Stick your butt out and really lengthen the spine. And then placing the hands on the mat, step back to down dog. And then we'll come forward into plank and lower the knees to the floor, the chest and the chin. Scoop it through. Press up to up dog with the feet extended. You can come up onto the tops of your toes. And then lower the knees again, tuck the toes, and come back to down dog. We'll take the left foot up in the air and bring the knee to chest and step it through. Turn the right toes slightly outward, feet on separate tracks for warrior one. Wing the arms back and rise up and take warrior one. Turn the hips to square to the front of the mat. And then we'll just wing the arms back again and step forward and come back to that mountain pose. And then we'll take the arms up overhead, swan dive forward, all the way down. Keep the knees bent still and step the left foot back, then the right foot back to down dog. Come forward into plank. You can lower the knees or chaturanga. Coming down, scooping up into up dog with your weight on the top of the toes, and then lift the hips, tuck the toes, lift the hips, back to down dog. And the right leg rises. Bring the knee forward. Step it through. Turn the left foot out and wing the arms back, pressing up into warrior one again. You can square the hips as you come up and raise the arms up. And then we'll come back down with the arms, step back with the right foot to down dog, and then you can tiptoe forward or even try jumping forward if that's in your practice, if you've done that before. And then reverse swan dive back up, mountain pose. And then we'll take that again, rise it up, swan dive forward. And this time just pause in your forward bend. We're starting to get a little warmer. Find your feet, spread your toes, bend the knees deeply, release the neck and head. And with the arms behind the calves or ankles, pull yourself forward into a forward bend, extending through the crown of the head still. And then with the hands on the mat, step back to down dog. And come forward into plank. And then tip forward. Press forward with the legs so that your shoulders are a little in front of the hands. And squeeze the elbows in and then lower yourself to the ground. Chaturanga. Extend the toes and come up to up dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Down dog. Lift the left leg up. And bring the knee to chest. Step it through. Turn the right heel to align with the left heel this time for warrior two stance. Left knee is deeply bent. And bring the right arm up and over and behind you. Turn the torso to the side of the mat. You can maybe turn the right toes out a little farther. Can gaze back over the right hand to make sure it's aligned, and then turn to the front. Gaze over the left hand. Sink down into the left knee. And then we'll just windmill the right arm down and forward and step forward again to mountain pose. Arms overhead. Swan dive forward. Again, just take a forward bend here. Bend the knees, plaster the chest on the thighs, release the neck, and step back with the left foot and the right foot. Down dog. Come forward into a plank pose. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Up dog. Tuck the toes, down dog. Lift the hips. Now take the right foot, the right leg up in the air, and bring the right knee to chest. Step it through. Turn the left toes out and align the heels. Windmill the left arm up and over. Warrior two on the other side. Refine your pose. Find all those adjustments. And the torso is long, vertical. Strengthen the left leg. Sink down into the right. And breathe. And then we'll take the left arm up and over and plant the hands, come back to down dog, come forward, tiptoe forward, or jump forward to the front of the mat and take the arms up and overhead and back down to your side, mountain pose. And then one more time, arms overhead, swan dive, forward. This time plant the hands, bend the knees very deeply, and just see if you can jump back a few feet, a few inches even. You can take a couple of hops back and come into plank pose. Lift the hips to down dog. Raise the left foot up and step it through. Um, and turn the right heel to line up with the left again. And windmill the right arm up and over. And straighten the left knee, straighten the legs. Bring the left arm way up and overhead, the right hand to the inner right thigh, and then reach forward with the left arm, and we'll come down into triangle. If you watch me just for a moment, um, the triangle can be just here. So the main idea is to keep the torso toward the side of the mat. Pull the left hip under. So your triangle pose, you can just have your hand inside the thigh. As long as you can keep the torso long and facing the side of the mat, you can start to slide down, but there's no need to come all the way down to the ankle. Just feel this in your side body. This is a side bend. Okay, so find your triangle and maybe even gazing up at the right hand. And then, as if someone's pulling you up by the right hand, come back up and step forward with the right foot. Take the arms up and over, swan dive forward. You can try that hopping again, couple of hops until we come back to down dog. Come forward into plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Extend the feet, come into up dog. Tuck the toes, down dog. The right leg lifts up in the air. Bring the knee to chest, step it through. Turn the left toes out, windmill the left arm up and over, straighten the right knee. The left hand comes inside the left thigh, radiant triangle. Lift the right arm, both legs are straight. And then come into your triangle. This isn't a competition. We're not even competing with ourselves. Just find the triangle that works for you, that's a side bend. Pull the right hip under. Turn toward the side of the mat. Slide the hand down to where it's comfortable for you. Breathe. Now, as if someone's pulling you up by the left hand, come all the way up and quarter turn the feet to the side of the mat with the outside edges of the feet parallel. And hands to hips and take a back bend here. Just lifting the heart, lifting the chest, back bending, maybe even a little bit of bend in the knees. And then come back up and hinge at the hips and slide the hands down the outsides of the legs. Long spine, reaching through the crown of the head, reaching out. And again, don't come all the way down if you find you're rounding your spine. And then release the neck and the head. Now, place the backs of the hands on the floor between your legs, right under your shoulders, and maybe even a little back farther, depending on the stiffness in the back of your wrists. And then just moving in a kind of a circle, bending the knees, feeling a little bit of stretch in the backs of your wrists. And then go in the other direction. Make these circles again. They're very small circles on the backs of the hands, not straining or stretching them too much, but just opening up. Spread the fingers wide. And then come into stillness. And maybe even try straightening the elbows a little more, shoulders away from the ears, breathing deeply. And then flip the hands over and place the hands under the shoulders, maybe even coming out a little farther. Can keep your fingertips, you can be on your fingertips or on the palms. And we'll take an Uddiyana here, Uddiyana Bandha. And this is where we exhale all the air out and then pull the belly in and up toward the heart. So exhale completely. Last bit through the mouth. And pull the belly in. Before you are gasping for breath, release the bandha and inhale slowly. And bending the knees deeply, take the hands to the hips, turn the toes out, bring the heels in, maybe even toe heel in a little bit, and come up with bent knees to goddess. Cactus the arms, and finally getting warm here. So just sway back and forth a little bit. See if you can sink down even lower. A little bit of bounce to it. Sway, dancing. And then rising up, stretch the arms and the legs as long as possible. Five-pointed star, reach through the crown of the head. And then turning the left toes just to the side of the mat forward. We'll spring off the right and come into starfish pose. So really rooting down through the left leg and pulling the hip in, lift the right leg off the floor. Gaze at an unmoving point, definitely not at the screen. Breathe deeply. And lowering the right foot to the floor, root down through the right foot, pull the right hip in, reach through the arms again, reach out through the left leg and lift it up off the floor with the toe pointed. And then bring the left leg to meet the right, lower the arms, and find mountain pose again. Let's take the shoulders up, back and down, a few shoulder rolls. Let's take some knee rolls as well. This is just place your hands lightly on your knees and then roll around in a circle to the right and back to the left. And straightening the legs again. Roll the shoulders back and forward, up, back, up, and forward. Okay. And now find your feet really solid under your hips. Lift the toes and spread them out. The feet are just hip width apart. And we'll take the arms out to the side and inhale completely and hold the breath in. So exhale, inhale, and tip to the left like an airplane, keeping the arms straight out. And back up to center and over to the right. And back to center. And bring the arms down. And we'll step off the mat if you like for our balance poses. So with the left hand high on the wall or on the back of a chair, bring the right knee to chest. Squeeze it in and circle the ankle in both directions. Turn this into tree pose. And your tree pose, you can have your right foot anywhere along the length of your left leg, ankle, calf, thigh, just not on the knee. And then raising the arms up, pull the left hip in, really pressing the leg against the foot, and maybe take Om Mudra, where the forefinger and the thumb make a circle, and you extend the other fingers. Breathing, finding a stillness within. And bringing the right hand to your hip or both hands to your hips. Turn the right knee forward and extend the leg out. Flexed foot, breathe. And lower the foot to the floor. And take it back and catch the right ankle and stretch. Oh, I'm getting some serious Charlie horses. Okay, so pull the right foot to the buttocks. The knees are aligned, stretching the front of the thigh. And then press the foot into the hand and lengthen. Just lift the heart for now. So this can be your dancer right here. You're not even bending forward at all. And then you can press the foot more and walk the handle along the wall and come down more forward. And come right back up and cross the right leg over the left, bending the knees, sinking down through the hips, and take the right arm under the left, intertwine the arms or have the backs of the hands together, and lift the arms up. Lift the gaze up and back, keeping the lower body deeply bent and stable, very solid, squeezing everything into the midline. And lower the elbows down, reaching the arms out in front. And let's come back up, reaching up and back. And unravel everything. Come to standing. And just spread the feet pretty wide apart and allow the arms to just rotate, twisting and slapping your hips with your hands, but no effort in the arms. You're just swinging them from the shoulders. And now we'll come back to the wall with the right hand high on the wall and bring the left knee to chest and circle the left ankle in both directions. Squeeze the foot leg in a little tighter, and then find your tree pose. Whatever you did on the other side, you can slowly move your foot up the leg over the weeks as they pass. And take Om Mudra with the fingers. I use my baby finger on the right hand just to touch the wall. Just gives me a little easier balance. Slight bend in the right knee, but pulling the right hip in, pressing the foot and the leg together. Gazing high on the wall in front of me. And turn the left leg forward and extend the leg. Breathe. Bending the left knee and catching the ankle. Align the knees. Pull the foot in. And then press the foot into the hand. Lift the heart up. And then begin to tip a little bit forward. It doesn't have to be very far. Just find a comfortable place. And rising back up again. Cross the left knee over the right. Bending deeply in the hips and the knees. Left arm under right. Raise the arms up. Lift the gaze. Lift the heart. And lower the elbows. Reach the arms out. Hinging at the hips. And then come back up. And taking a little bit of a back bend here even. And unravel and shake it out. And we'll come back to our mats and we'll take some seated poses now that we're warmed up. So you can come down to your seat any way you'd like. If you'd like to come with me, take the feet and point the toes out with the heels slightly in, arms overhead, palms to heart center, and bending the knees. We're coming down into a squat pose, just sinking down. And you can grab your block to sit on if you'd like, or two blocks, whatever's comfortable for you. And then reach through the crown of the head and open the heart forward. Lift the chin. Keep breathing. I have a friend who does a lot of gardening, and She's about to turn 80 years old, and she can squat and bounce back up from it so quickly, and it's just um, second nature to her. So then release the arms behind you, and we'll take just a simple forward fold here. So extend the legs and have them together, close together, and then sort of work the flesh, pull the flesh out from under the buttocks, and flex the feet deeply, hands right next to the hips, and press down into the hands and lift the heart up, and then lower the chin to the chest. And pull the pelvic floor up and in for Mula Bandha. You can inhale and hold the breath for this, or you can just try it without holding the breath. Staff pose. And release back down. Take the arms up and overhead and hinging at the hips, really reaching through the crown of the head, hairline toward the toes, and then come down. And your hands can be anywhere along the legs, whatever permits you to keep the spine long. And then release the neck so that the head is just aligned with the spine. Keep reaching through the crown of the head on an inhale, and maybe you can tip just a little bit more forward on an exhale. Always the option to have your hands next to the legs as well. And we'll come back up and take the left heel out to the corner of the mat and bring the right foot in for Janu Shirshasana. So the right foot, the bottom of the right foot is next to the left thigh. And it can be anywhere along the leg. It can be at the knee, even at the calf. Just find what works for your knees today and your hips. Knees and hips tend to be similar. Then take the hands on the floor next to the left leg and bring the torso over the left leg so that you're centering the chest right over the knee, and then reaching forward again, hinging at the hips. Walk the hands next to the leg. And you can just stay here and keep your hands next to the leg. Keep reaching through the crown of the head and forward bending. If you can take hold of the leg, you can begin to pull yourself forward, but just remember to keep that long spine. And then release the neck and the head. Breathing here. And rising back up again. I'm going to turn this into a twist pose. So the right knee comes up and you cross the right foot over the left knee. You can bring the left leg more to the center of the mat and have the right foot on the floor. And then your left leg can be extended, that's fine. Or you can bend the left knee and bring the left foot next to the right hip. So then find your sits bones again and kind of pull the knee up toward the center of the chest and make sure your right foot is planted on the ground. Boy, right and left get really tangled up in my mind in these twist pose. Okay, so right hand up and over and back behind you, close to the body. Left arm raises way up, even gaze up. And then you can wrap your arm around knee, or you can place your left elbow behind the knee and twist. Try to relax the legs and the hips as you twist. And can even kind of suck your belly in on an exhale, twist a little further. On an inhale, reach up through the crown of the head and just keep twisting. And we'll just stay here for a while. Find your comfort in the pose. And release. And take a counter pose. Bring the right arm over the knee and over to the left side. And just relax a little bit. Counter twist. And then we'll straighten the legs out again. Take the right leg out to the corner of the mat and bring the left foot inside the thigh. And we'll find Janu Shirshasana on the other side. So inhale deeply, reaching the chest forward, hinging at the hips. Walk the hands out next to the legs. Find your deepest place slowly, though. Take it slowly. Inhale, extend through the crown, and exhale, bend forward a little bit more. Breathing deeply. Deep belly breaths. And rising back up, bring the right leg to the center of the mat. Cross the left leg over with the left foot on the floor outside of the right leg. If you came with me, you can bend the right knee and bring the right foot next to the buttocks. Take the left arm up and over to the floor, close to the body. Right hand reaches way up and comes across or wraps around the knee and twist. Keep reaching through the crown and twisting a little bit deeper. And we'll unravel the pose and come over, bring the left arm all the way across and take that counter twist again. And now we'll just unravel the legs and place the palms of the feet together. And with the spine long, maybe have the hands behind you. Just see how much you can relax the hips. And I don't know if this is a good angle, but yeah, maybe you can see Eileen. So the feet can be as close to your pelvic floor or as far away as need be. And the legs may come down. If you're very comfortable here, you can bring your hands and take hold of your feet and kind of open them like a book, but keep reaching through the crown of the head and extending the spine up as you release the shoulders down. Cobbler's pose. And now we're going to come from here, it's a little strange, into pigeon pose. So take the right knee, the right shin parallel with the front of the mat, and then extend the left leg back. You may have to lift yourself up off the floor and take your block or a blanket under your right thigh, and then tuck the left toes and extend the left leg, squaring the hips down, supporting yourself with your hands, either on the fingertips or the palms, and lift the heart up. Lift the gaze. You can even take a bit of a back bend here. And then slowly walk the hands out. Maybe you can only come a little bit forward, but see how far down you can come with comfort and no pain in the hip or the knee. And you can come to your forearms or maybe stack the palms and place your forehead on the backs of your palms, folding forward. This is a deep opener for the right hip. And you might also feel it in the front of the left hip. And then rising back up to the hands, slide the right leg back. And we'll just come to all fours, tabletop, knees hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And now tuck the right toes and bring the left knee forward for pigeon on the other side. And gently come down. Take your block or your blanket under the left thigh. Tuck the right toes and extend the right leg back. And come up onto your fingertips, or even you can even use your other block to come up. But puff the chest forward. Pigeon has this big bossy chest. Breathing here. Flex the left foot. And then walk the hands forward to the same place as you were on the other side. I think it's helpful to try to be symmetric, even if there's asymmetry to the extent to which you can do these poses on each side. Over time, it becomes a little more symmetric as we just keep practicing. And rising back up to the hands. We'll release, tuck the right toes and pull the left leg back into plank pose this time. And let's just hold plank pose for a few breaths. You can lower your knees and do a knee plank, extending through the crown of the head, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, firm through the legs, keeping the hips more or less in line with the torso. You can have them a little bit lifted, but don't sag into it. This isn't an up dog. And then lower the knees, and we'll sit back. If your knees are really wonky, well, you know what? Let's just take take a camel pose here. So take your blanket and bring your knees onto the blanket. Tuck the toes, knees are hip width apart, hands to the hips, lift the heart up, and track the gaze along the ceiling all the way back. Press the hips forward, strengthen the legs. See if you can even see the wall behind you. Keep lifting the heart. You can even press down with the hands on the buttocks a little bit, opening up the lower back. And with the strength of your abdomen, draw yourself back up and bring the hands down and walk them all the way forward, keeping the hips over the knees. Stretch the arms overhead and bring the forehead down to the mat for puppy. And breathe. And walking the hands back in, maybe come back off the blanket, and we'll take rabbit pose here. So if you can get into child's pose, you can begin in child's pose, and then take hold of your heels with your hands on the bottom of your feet, and tuck the chin into the chest, and then lift the hips up. Don't turn the head from side to side, just pulling with the arms and legs in opposition so that we're lightly on the top of our head, maybe even on the back of the head. And release the hips back down, arms under the shoulders, and press back up. And now we'll just turn and sit on the mat and coming into our finishing poses on our back. So let's take a boat pose. We have keep our abdomen strong. So reach through the crown of the head, hold on to the back of the thighs, and begin to tip back as if your torso and your head were a board, a plank, and then come up onto the toes and lift the lower legs up parallel with the floor. Now this can be your boat pose right here, and find your stability. And then if you'd like to try releasing your hands, you can have your hands reaching out. Keep the shoulders down, keep the back strong and long. Keep breathing. And then lower the feet to the floor and round the spine. Bring the chin to chest. Coming back and then actually rising up again and open the heart. Lift the gaze. And now round the spine all the way down, slowly one vertebrae at a time onto the mat. And find your place on the mat where your head is just at the top of the mat, perhaps. And we'll take another hip opener here, a reclining cobbler. So take the bottom of your feet together and just try to relax the knees out to the side. And now just lift the knees up strengthen the inner thighs and the inner calves about an inch. Just lift them up an inch, maybe two, so that you're kind of pressing the bottom of your feet together and using the strength of your legs to lift an inch or two off, up higher, and then completely release and see if that allows your hips to open a little bit more. Just completely let go. Breathing deeply all the way down into your toes. Exhale from the toes to the crown of the head. Inhale to the toes. And exhale to the crown of the head. And then bring the knees back up, feet hip width apart. Brush the back of your ankles, your heels with the tips of your finger. And really find the bottom of your feet. Lift the toes up even and spread them. And then release them down to the mat, not gripping the mat with the toes, just releasing them wide. And tuck the hips under and lift them up for bridge pose. Interlace the fingers under the back and walk the shoulders closer together, pressing the hips up by using the strength of the legs. Keep the knees directly over the ankles. Don't allow them to buckle in or out. And breathe, deep belly breaths here. And release the hands and the shoulders and lower back down to the floor. And we'll go right up into half shoulder stand, drawing the knees into the chest and lifting the hips up, scooping them with the hands, walking the hands down the back as much as possible. And then extend the legs up, and your legs may not be directly vertical, but the feet should be directly over the eye, or the toes over the eyes. And then close the eyes. Find your centered stability and begin to notice your breath. And lowering the legs overhead. You can bring the feet to the floor. The toes can come down to the floor, perhaps. Or if not, you can stretch your arms along your legs and catch the ankles or the shins in longevity. So the difference between plow and longevity is slight but significant. And then release the arms down under the buttocks where they're going to land so that the palms are down and the hands will end up right under the buttocks. And then take 3 breaths to inhale, lower the legs, and stop and exhale. Inhale, lower the legs, stop and exhale. Inhale, lower the legs all the way to the floor. And rise up onto your elbows. Bring them closer together. Make your hands more comfortable by shifting your hips side to side. And then lift the chest up for fish pose and allow the head to drift back supported on your elbows and forearms, and the top of the head, really just the hair, comes to the floor. And breathe into the upper chest. Really open the chest, even the back of the chest, and the back of the heart, the entire rib cage, breathing into the whole 360 degrees of the rib cage. And then lifting the head and releasing down to the floor again. And we'll come into our usual side lying twist, arms out in a T. Bring the hip feet to the floor with the knees bent and shift the hips about 6 inches over to the left. Draw the knees into the chest and lower them over to the right. Now you can have your lower legs on a block or a blanket if you prefer. Um, Maybe that allows a more relaxed pose. And walk the right shoulder out from under and then turn to gaze over the left arm. And then close the eyes and release all effort. Feel the opening across the chest, deep twist in the spine. Twisting is really good for the bones. It actually helps build bone density. And rising back up, lift the knees up. Maybe take your block or blanket to the other side. Shift the hips to the right. Lower the knees to the left. Walk the left shoulder out. Gaze over the right arm. Close the eyes and let go. Allow the breath to come and go of its own accord. See if you can even let go in the hips. We hold a lot of tension in our hips. Don't give them a lot of attention. And again, rising the knees back up, recenter the hips. Just come into a quick happy baby, drawing the knees outside of the armpits and taking hold of the calves, ankles, or the bottom of the feet. And pull down, keeping the lower spine on the ground, recentering here. And then just lower the arms down to 45 degrees and stretch your legs long toward the corners of the mat one at a time. Maybe point the toes toward each other and then allow them to flop out. Come into your Shavasana and find the witness mind, just paying attention to how our body is responding to this regular yoga practice. And now opening our attention back into the world, noticing the sounds, maybe the temperature. It's always interesting to note how the bottom of my feet feel colder as I'm laying there in Shavasana. Stretch the arms overhead and reach through the toes, from the toes to the fingertips. Good morning stretch. And then rolling onto your right side if it's morning, left if it's evening. Bring the knees in. Take a breath or two here, just allowing very gently, pressing yourself up into your seated position. Find your blanket to sit on the edge of the blanket and just very comfortably reaching up through the crown of your head, feeling the length of the spine. And take the arms up and overhead, palms together. Bring them to the heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's good to see you all again.